Good morning, you guys. What's up? Rasathi out here in Singapore, and it is Saturday morning, and I'm so excited because my brother happens to be in town this time. Monkey's uncle is in town, and I'm so excited because we get to spend some time together in between wedding stuff, obviously. So we got a full weekend ahead of us, lots of appointments, but I get to cook for him. I've been asking him what he wants. I think I mentioned this in the episode yesterday. So I am getting ready to run off to the store, get some milk so we can make some pancakes and stuff. But in the meantime, I was thinking about this concept, and he and I come from the same place when it comes to unconditional love. So I would love for him to chime in if he feels that it's relevant. But in the meantime, here goes. I mean, I really want to talk about the concept of unconditional love. I saw a quote yesterday that basically says, "Trust me, my love is unconditional, but your presence in my life is not, and I will have no problem dropping you like a bad habit and unconditionally loving myself as a result, like just to continue on with my life." But the way that that's worded, it seems very painful to me. It seems like it's coming from a place of anger. I understand unconditional love in a very, very different manner. And I would love to have him weigh in on his idea of unconditional love as well. So for me, when I say unconditional love, it means that I love you because I want to love you. I love you because I want to love you. I love you because I feel like, I can actually do some good here. I love you because it's necessary. It's a part of who I am. I don't turn it on and I don't turn it off. It's just something that happens. I unconditionally love everybody. Now, yes, I also love myself, which means that if I feel that you are somebody who is taking from me or hurting me or diminishing who I am in some kind of way and it hurts, I'm going to pull back a little bit. That doesn't mean that I will change the way I treat you, but it does mean that I'm going to treat myself the way that I would treat you and love myself enough to protect myself. It doesn't mean that I'm going to turn it off if you don't do what I say I want you to do. It doesn't mean that I'm going to love you any less if you are not able to love me the way that I want you to love me. It doesn't mean that I'm going to punish you if you don't do what I ask you to do. Unconditional love just is. I can't explain that any better than to say a mom's love or a father's love is usually unconditional, which means no matter how many child temper tantrums they experience, no matter how many, hurtful back talking that they go through, they still love the child. And it's out of love that they try to correct the child or to help them understand that what they're saying is wrong or hurtful. They try to educate the child in such a way that the child understands that, hey, you are hurting me. I love you. I'm here for you. I'm here to support, but you can't continue to hurt me. It's like it's lovingly drawing a boundary. It's lovingly communicating and teaching people, hey, I love myself this way. I would love it if you could find a way, in your own way, to also respect who I am, which is also a form of love. And in so doing, we come to a better agreement or a better understanding of how this relationship should work. Unconditional love does not mean I cut it off at any point in time. It may mean that it lessens from your perspective a little bit because I'm taking care of myself. I need to make sure that I am whole and I am capable of standing on my own 2 feet before I come back with you. So if you wouldn't mind, Monkey's uncle, would you mind weighing in a little bit on what you think unconditional love is? Was I way off base?
No, I don't think you're way off base. I might phrase it a little bit
Sure,
differently.
please.
To be able to love anybody unconditionally, you have to love yourself unconditionally first.
Yes, absolutely.
If you
Because
don't love yourself, you can't express that love to anybody else. It it becomes uneven. It becomes unbalanced when you're loving somebody in that way.
exactly. And I feel like, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I'm sure you do, but for those of you listening, I feel like when you love yourself very well, what you basically see is reflections of yourself in other people, which is what is unconditional love. You're loving yourself as you see them in other people, reflections of you in other people. It's the same thing when people talk about, people trigger you. It's because something in you is hurt, and when you see that same behavior somewhere else, you feel upset by it. It changes something inside of you. It is, what was that quote I heard? Um, there is no we, you and me. There is no separation. We are all one entity, and that is what I feel is unconditional love. Any thoughts?
Um, I would think it's two parts.
Okay.
Instead of just being you seeing reflections in other people, and when you see similarities, it gets to you. It's also if you see opposites as well.
Of course.
If you see something that's completely opposite to the way that you are, the way you believe, that tends to offend you because your belief of the world is should be like this. It
Exactly.
works better. But also with regards to unconditional love, it is loving somebody and not needing to be the most important thing to them. You love them enough to be whatever it is you are in their life and not have to insist on being more, not have to insist on doing more. You love them enough to take care of them when they're needed, but you also love them enough to let them be as well.
Right. Because you understand that growth sometimes happens with people and sometimes happens in solitude, where you have to kind of like understand and reflect on your own and figure out what it is that's going on. So, honestly speaking, you guys, I see a lot of quotes. I see a lot of sentiment from people about, what you should and shouldn't do, how you should and shouldn't behave. And that's cool. I understand. I'm not saying it's wrong to post those things, but I do need people to understand. Unconditional love is exactly that. It's unconditional. There is no time when you do love them and a time when you don't love them. You love them. You love them continually. It's just a matter of, are you going to put yourself in jeopardy to be able to show them how much you love them, or are you going to let them figure it out a little bit on their own, because you got to take care of you first as well. So with that, is there anything else you want to add?
Nah, just unconditional love is very powerful. It is something that gives strength. It's something that gives power to other people, and not in a sense of power over you, but it gives them power in their own life because they know in that one place they're receiving a type of love that makes them whole. If you if you're not loving yourself in a way that is powerful, if you're not loving yourself in a way that is unconditional, then you have a doubt in your mind whenever you're dealing with anyone else that can lead to you're not unconditionally loving them either. It's really important to know you love yourself because if you feel safe in that space, you can do anything. And if you can extend that to somebody else, if you can love them unconditionally as well, they feel safe in that space to be able to do anything that they need to as well.
I love it. So, honestly speaking, unconditional love is one of those places where you trust your gut, you're doing the best you can, you are open to new ideas, and if you feel like it fits for you, you take it on. If it doesn't feel like it fits, you let it go. And the point being, though, that it's expansive. Unconditional love gives you that freedom to really come into your own, as in, I mean, that's a cliche phrase, right? Which means that you be all of who you are at all times. You're not hiding pieces of yourself here and there. You accept and understand. You're ready to face all parts of yourself, which means if you can do it for yourself, you can do it for anybody else. So I hope you understand. I hope this helps you. I'm really, really grateful to have my little brother jump in on this. And yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the space below the video. And I look forward to speaking to you guys again soon. Y'all take care. Bye.